If you're watching this channel, you probably like cars. And if you like cars, you've probably dreamt about having one as a project. Well, what's stopping you? Maybe you thought it was too expensive of a hobby. Or maybe you thought you didn't have the skills necessary to have one. Or maybe you thought you weren't cool enough to join the club. Well, I'm here to tell you that none of that stuff is true. It doesn't have to be that expensive. It's really not that hard. And our threshold for what's cool is actually really very low. Today, I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you can and should have a project car. And once I've successfully convinced you, I'm gonna give you my top 3 picks for project cars. I'm Zach, and this is Money Pit. All right, so you guys might be wondering what makes me qualified to talk to you aspiring mechanics about project cars. And I guess really my qualification is just that I'm about as afflicted as it gets. I have a project car problem, if you will. I don't think it's a problem, but everybody else does. About 6 months ago, I moved from Ohio to LA to work at Donut. I sold all my cars in Ohio and I drove an RV to LA. I lived in it for about 4 months and I now have 4 project cars and an RV in the backyard. So I guess that's my qualification. I keep buying junk in various states of running or not running. I think that's cool, and if you're kind of in the same boat and you have a project that isn't running, that you haven't been working on, I hope that you use this video as inspiration to get back into the garage and get working on it and not be like my roommate Cerrone, who bought a perfectly good project car about 3 months ago, took up the only garage space with it, that broke, and hasn't touched it in 3 months. So don't be like Cerrone, be like me, turn some wrenches. Okay, so cars can be scary and daunting and like super complex, especially these days. But once you start to learn how to work on your project car, it sets you up very well to be able to work on any car. It's kind of like learning a language. You start to figure out how to pick up on the trails and the breadcrumbs. Okay, you hear a sound. Now that you kind of know how to work on your car, you know where to go for that sound. You know how to find the source of the sound and fix it. It doesn't only apply to cars. Say your washing machine breaks in your house. You can probably fix that now because you know how mechanical stuff works. But be careful, people catch wind of that, so all of a sudden you're fixing everybody's cars in the neighborhood and they want you to do it for free. Charge them like half price and then bam, you're making money. That's a business plan. All right, so now that we got you all hyped up and confident thinking that you can fix anything in the world, sorry, we gotta reel it back a little bit and be honest with ourselves. You're not always gonna be able to fix everything. It's inevitable that you get confused or you get stumped on a problem with a car. It happens to me all the time. But so what do you do when that happens? You turn to one of the other biggest reasons for getting into cars, which is the community. It's your family. The family that you've been building, the family that speaks this language that you've been learning. It's like you and your friends, dirty and tired in the garage at like 2 in the morning, and you gotta get this engine back into the car. But thing after problem after issue is stopping you, slowing you down, chipping away at your confidence. It happens, I've been there. But through hard work and perseverance, you and your boys get that engine back in. Yeah! You get the job done, and you always do when it comes down to you and your friends working on stuff. You actually don't always get it done. That's a misdirection. Sometimes you're not gonna get it done. This language that we've been talking about transcends whatever language you speak. I have had so many interactions with people from all over the world about cars because we all kind of understand. Even if we can't quite understand each other's language, we understand the car language, and that is so cool.
That was really moving, man. That was really great.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, so you kind of understand that there's this language now, and I think I've harped on the community thing hard enough. So now I think it's time to start talking about the elephant in the room, money. It's honestly probably what's kept you out of this game thus far, but it's okay, we'll get through it. Let's talk about it. When you're getting into any hobby, you're gonna end up spending some money, and this is no different. I think a lot of people get hung up on wanting to have expensive tools, which, yeah, expensive tools are nice, sure, but cheap tools will get the job done. And I've made a list of the tools that you need to get started. Here it is. The list starts with sockets and ratchets, like these. You're gonna wanna buy metric sockets because pretty much all car stuff is metric these days, though it does depend on what you're working on. You need a set of screwdrivers. Just get yourself a big old combo kit with flatheads and Phillips. You'll pretty much be set. You're also gonna need some pliers. Again, just a combo set of pliers. Get a little bit of everything, you'll be in good shape. You're gonna need a set of wrenches. Again, metric. I recommend getting an adjustable wrench too, so it gets you a good combo set, you'll be in good shape. And then you need a digital multimeter to handle all the electrical issues that you may have. And this is kind of a complicated tool, but we'll learn how to use this later on. if you're working on cars that are OBD2, which means from 1996 or newer, you're gonna wanna have a code reader, a scanner, so you can see what your check engine light is on for, or what's actually going on in the computer of your car. Indisposable tool. And then of course you're gonna need a jack and jack stand so you can lift your car, get it off the ground, and safely work under it. Speaking of safely, you also need some safety equipment. I like to go with the 1982 version of the safety glasses that keep your eyes in perfect condition. You're also gonna need a hammer. This is one of the most indisposable tools in the garage. You can bang stuff on, bang stuff off, you don't know. And then honestly, I think having a pry bar is nice, so you can, pry stuff off. But that's about it. That's not too bad. And I went to harborfreight.com, who does not sponsor this whatsoever, and I put all this stuff in a cart. You can do all this for less than 400 bucks, which is not bad.
And if you can't afford that, just do what everyone else does.
Steal.
Borrow.
And if you can't afford that, do what everybody else does and just borrow them from your friends permanently. At the end of the day with a project car, the only thing that matters is what you like. You get to build a project car to your taste for your own satisfaction and to flex on other motherfuckers. Regardless of what aspect of cars you think is cool, you can do that. There are no rules. I mean, if you want it to be street legal, there are kind of some rules, but you know what I mean. So no matter what your thing is, what you're into, you can use your project car as a way to further express that. And honestly, it's one of the coolest ways you can express yourself that I can think of. We get to play with machines. These are veritable machines. Pretty much any car on the road can do like 100 miles an hour or more, and that, when you think about it, is crazy. You get to drive a machine that can do 100 miles an hour, and there is no better way to express yourself than by building and driving something like that. Okay, so you get to learn how to work on cars, you get to join a really cool community, you get to spend all your money and time in a really cool way, and you get to express yourself through the coolest medium I can think of. So what's next? What's next on this whole gearhead journey that we're talking about? Picking out a project. So let me give you my top 3 picks for a project as of early 2020. Each pick is going to be for a different facet of motorsport, if you want to call it that. Okay, so if drifting is your thing, if that's what you're into, in my opinion, you should pick up an E36, a 325i or a 328i. They're abundant, they're cheap, they're pretty darn reliable, and they make enough power to get you sliding. You really don't have to do much. If you're a drift kind of person, get you an E36 like the one in the garage. Come steal this one. Saron's not doing anything with it. So if off-roading's your thing, I think my pick has to be a Jeep, ideally a Wrangler, and ideally with the 4-liter inline 6. It's got enough power to get you anywhere, but it can be kind of hard to come by those for cheap. So you can go with a Wrangler with a 4-cylinder, or you can also find Jeep Cherokees with that 4-liter inline 6 for really cheap. So I'd probably do that. And that brings me to my third pick, which I guess is actually my first pick because I actually bought it. I bought a Miata. I've been itching to do some autocrossing and track daying and hit all the beautiful canyons out here in California. So what could be better to do that in than a Mazda Miata? They're cheap, they're reliable, they're abundant, and most importantly, they're good. It is a 1994 NA, so it's got the pop-ups. James said I couldn't have one without pop-ups. And it might not look like much right now, but I assure you that this thing is an absolute gem. A diamond in the rough, if you will. And throughout the life of this show, we are going to wrench on every little part of this car. And I'll show you how it works and how you install stuff and what it does and everything in between. Thanks a billion for watching. We're about to take a huge journey with this car, so I hope you stick with us. Follow me on Instagram at Zach Jobe. Follow Donut at Donut Media. Follow our new YouTube channel for our podcast, Donut Podcast. And of course, as always, subscribe to the channel. See you guys next week.